welcome to this episode of my Women Empowerment Wednesday show. My name is Jessica DSB. Enjoy this episode.
Awesome. We are live. Happy Wednesday. Let me just put everything all in order. Awesome. Happy Women Empowerment Wednesday. My name is Jessica. Welcome to all of you that'll be watching live. And if you're watching the replay, awesome. Let me know what you'll best like about this conversation. For those that do not know me, my name is Jessica. I am a flight attendant for the past 10 years, entrepreneur, 2 times best international selling author, passionate world traveler, and I'm also the founder of the Women Empowerment Wednesday show. Super excited to be with all of you every single Wednesday. So if you haven't seen all my other episodes, because today is episode 40, I'm so excited. I have a Facebook group named Women Empowerment by Jessica DSB, where you can find all the different episodes. I started back in April 2020. There's a lot of empowering content on there. So join my page, join the movement. What is the Women Empowerment Wednesday show? It was created during the first wave of the pandemic. I wanted to have weekly conversations that were empowering, touching, and inspiring. Not only with myself, but with a special guest every single week, where we could talk about various topics, and not only again with me and the special guest, but to really bring upon a movement where we can bring those conversations in the lives of the people that you care about. So your friends, your family. So share this episode, share the Facebook page, that really create that movement, especially with everything that's happening now. And for those that have been following me in the last few weeks, I have been creating a special series January, February, and beginning of March, where I only have flight attendants or retired flight attendants that you'll meet today. But really, my goal was to talk about our industry. We don't know when we're going to be back at work. We've been the most impacted industry in the whole world. So I wanted to really be that voice and include my colleagues and fellow aviation family in those conversations. So still so excited to have that every single week. So before I introduce our special guest, excuse me, I want to just remind you, for those that didn't get their copy, 365 Empowering Stories. I'm collecting all the money for my dad and my little sister, my stepmom. My little sister has cerebral palsy. So my goal is to collect $10,000 for them. So the book is $20. Simple, short stories. It's for anybody, whether you're a reader or not a reader, or you want to give it as a gift. It's $20. So message me to get your copy today, and keep following me for all the upcoming details, because we are working on a huge flight attendant collaboration book project. More details to come, but I'm so excited. So enough of all that information. Miss Lucie Bernier. Lucie Bernier, yeah, I'm like, did I pronounce it right? We had the pleasure to meet last summer, I believe. We started really connecting together through an online business. Lucie was a flight attendant for 22 years. She's been retired for 9 years now. Also a private pilot, which I did not know about that. She's an author, a speaker, a trainer, and she is a business owner, like I said before. And she is, of course, passionate about aviation, but she is also very passionate about helping people change their lives and develop their full potential. So thank you for being there, and welcome, Lucie.
Merci, Jessica. My pleasure. Happy to be here.
I'm so happy. I can't wait to have our great conversation. It's going to be very nice. So thank you for being here. Hello, Pamela. Welcome. If you're watching live, type live in the comments. And if you're going to be watching replay, type replay. I love to see all your amazing comments. All right. So Lucie, for those that don't know you, share a bit more about who you are, please.
Sure. Well, where to start? Well, I'm originally from Quebec, a little town from Quebec City. So if you hear a little accent, well, I'm French originally, but I live in Moncton now. I've been in Moncton for almost 20 years. Hard to believe. Time flies, so to
Right.
speak. And I had a very quiet childhood. I was a very introverted, shy person when I was growing up. I ended up going to university, wanted to become a lawyer, but realized that it wasn't for me. And
Mm,
back then, like I said, because of the type of personality that I had, I just thought, this is not for me. So I thought, well, I was about 21 years old at the time. I said, well, I need to speak English because these days, if you want to have a good job, you
right.
have to learn English. So um, I was very scared because I thought, well, I have to go to another province or another country because in Quebec City, I'm not going to learn English there. It's going to take a long time. So I decided to move to Aurelia, Ontario. I don't know if you know where
I don't
that
even
is.
know where it
It's
is.
a very, very small town. And that was very scary. I know that we talked a little bit about fears and going beyond our fears. That was very scary for me because it was very unknown. It was the first time that I was leaving the province. And anyway, ended up there. It didn't really work out. Moved to Toronto and moved in with flight attendants,
Mm,
which was like, that's interesting. Uh, so everything happens for a reason. You know that.
mm,
So that's where I was in contact with flight attendants, the aviation world. That was the first time that I went on an airplane was when I went to Aurelia at
wow.
21 years old. So it's not something flight attendant. It's not something that some people are like, oh, since the age of 5, I've always wanted to do this as a
Right.
career, but it wasn't me, just being honest.
Yeah.
But it turned out it was the best career, the most fulfilling career that I could imagine, having. So that's how it started. And Air Canada was hiring, and we're back in '89. That's a few years back. Yeah. And again, I was like, what am I doing? And because of my self-talk, my negative self-talk, well, they're not gonna take me, my English is not good enough, blah, blah, blah. And my roommate says, well, just try.
Mm,
What do you have to lose?
right.
I was like, yeah, I can always say no at the last minute. So I sent back then it was just sending your resume by mail and send them the letter like was a Thursday afternoon. Next Monday, I get a phone call from Montreal headquarters. You have an interview this week, and I was like, what? Like this is crazy. But anyways, went to the interview. That's I spent a lot of time speaking on that, but anyway, it went well. I got a job. And I started in April of 1989.
Wow.
So I flew for 22 years.
Mm.
And if I talk too much or you want to interrupt me, Jessica, go for it.
Please, no, the floor is yours. I asked you to talk about yourself, so say whatever you need to share, and we'll get into the conversation. It's
Well,
perfect.
yeah, it's just to share, with the people online a little bit, what I've gone through because 1989. So I was a flight attendant for a few years, and then my best friend said, "Well, you should become a service director." So I don't know how you call it now because it had different.
Service director, yeah.
But yeah, it used to be purser. It used to be
Yeah.
like they change it all the
So
time.
maybe for those that are not in the aviation, you just like the responsible leader on board. Like put it.
Yeah, yeah. So again, I was like, "Well, why would I do that?" And
Mm-hmm.
then I thought, well, I'm a very hard worker, so I was mostly doing always the in charge work anyway. So I said,
Yeah.
well, might as well get paid for it.
Right.
But again, that was like very scary because I thought, oh my goodness. So now I'm the service director. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to do the passenger announcements. I
Mm-hmm.
told you I was very shy, even at that time. I was like, oh, you're kind of at the front, eh? Like you have to be out there, and
Yeah.
if there's issues, you have to deal with passengers. You cannot just give it we would say in good French, Quebecois, you cannot give the puck to someone else. You have, if there's an issue, yeah, you're the one.
You're
So
running the
again,
show.
I was like, but I was afraid of something that was going to happen in the future, because we have to realize that when we're scared or afraid of something, we're afraid because of something that happened in the past that was painful, or we're afraid of what's coming. Because if we think about what's going now, everything is good. Right. So then that's when I thought, okay, let's do this and see what's going to happen. So anyways, I was a service director for 15 years. And what happened in 2009, like I really understand what you are going through, Jessica, in all of the aviation, like flight attendants, but whoever is related to the aviation industry, because you were very young, I guess, in 2008-9. But for those of you who are a little older, we had a big recession. Air Canada announced bankruptcy not once, but twice.
Wow.
So what you're going through right now, I went through it 11 years ago. It wasn't as, it was on a smaller scale, because now it's kind of worldwide and everything. But I totally know what you're going through, because I came from, when they laid off everybody, I had about 50 people below me, like 50 people, flight attendants that were junior to me. So I was very close to being laid off. So, well, thank you. I kept my job, but that's when I realized that we're not protected. Like, if I may, Jessica, talk a little bit about money, because when you lose your job, I mean, things change, like financially, not emotionally, but financially. But that's kind of an advice I would like to give to everybody, is that if you only have one stream of income, you need to diversify. You need to, because life has cycles. There's cycles in seasons, in relationships, in business, and in the economy. 11 years ago, it was that big recession. Now it's COVID. And what is it going to be in the future? So that's something that when I realized, and that's when I became a business owner, when I realized, wow, I need to diversify, because you never know what's going to happen in the future.
I love it. It's so right. It's so right. And a lot of us don't think about it. Like even I know that information, I said, I have 10 years, I'm not going to get laid off. I'm set. I'm good now, No, you never know. You never know. Let me just say a few hi here. Stefan, Dahera, Lynn, my aunt JD. Hello, she says hi from Miami. That's my lovely aunt. Hello, welcome. Send us a bit of sunshine and heat here, please. Hello, Vicky. She says she's live. Avon, welcome to all of you that are live. So grateful. Thank you for being here. What we're talking about is Lucie being a flight attendant. She was a flight attendant for 22 years, and in 2009 and 10, I guess just before I got hired, there was a big recession, and I was when they hired a lot after the recession, right? So these cycles will happen over and over our whole lifetime. And it is important to diversify our income. So what we chose, and I'm going to let you share a bit more about all of that that's coming up, but I just want to maybe just our topic that we chose today is going beyond your fears. And when we talked on Monday, you're like going out of your comfort zone. And that's what we talked about last week with Melissa. So I love that this is like the trend and the alignment, because it's true. It's something that we need to talk about, because guess what? We're always going to have that fear, no matter what, no matter who it is, no matter what age, but background, that fear is going to be there. And I love what you said. Fear is based on a past experience or the future, where it's the unknown, which is a natural state of a human being. But if you stay in your present state, there's no fear, right?
Exactly.
So powerful. So I wanted to be able to reshare it because it's so powerful. Sandra, hello ladies. She says, so going beyond your fears, why did you choose that topic, Lucie?
Well, it's just because if I look back at my life, that's what I had to do. No, that's what I chose to do. If I would have stayed, I would have stayed like the way I was when I grew up, very shy, afraid to speak to people, staying in my comfort zone. My life would have been very different. I would have never moved to Toronto. I would have never had a career as a flight attendant. I would have not become an author. I would have not become a psychotherapist, a pilot, a Reiki master, name it. So that's why when we go beyond our fears, we live a more fulfilling life. As simple as that. And the danger that when we have a job that we really love and that we identify to, and it becomes like our identity, we feel that we cannot do anything else. This is, and we're not open to other ideas, other possibilities. So that's why it's so important, because what happened in the 11 years ago, 12 years ago, that forced me to go beyond those fears. And that forced me, every time something happened, a crisis, or even what's happening now, yes, it is difficult. You lost your structure. Everything that you were used to as a flight attendant, your routine. Well, there's no routine as a flight attendant, but you know what I mean? It's like kind of, okay, going away, going on layovers,
bidding,
with my, all of that, it's not there anymore. And it's like, well, what do I do now? I dare to say, who am I? And I lost everything. I lost my identity. So that's why it's important to reflect, I believe. Anyway, it's just my personal experience, and it's only my opinion. You just take what feels right for you, Jessica, but everyone that's listening.
By the way, Vicky says, oh my God, I so needed to hear this. Thank you. So you're doing awesome. Keep sharing away.
But all I'm saying, again, it's my personal experience. And sometimes I see things that people, that they're a little shaken because they're like, what is that? But I mean, I believe that, like I said, there's a reason why you're here, I'm here, people are listening. So if I can help one person, maybe shed some light and give hope, and that's kind of my purpose. So where was I? So
yes, sorry, Monday when we talked, you really shared something super powerful, and I told you we need to share this, because a lot of, like, even close people to me, close colleagues, have been in that state where, oh my God, I lost my identity. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't even know myself, because I'm used to this lifestyle. I'm used to this routine. I'm used to have these kind of people around me, and the list goes on. And you really shared something so powerful. So I want you to head that direction.
Well, yeah, of course. So how to deal with that is like, I'm going to give you some homework.
Hey!
If you want, you don't have to, but I know that it can help some of you. So you're passionate about your job. I was, as a flight attendant. So my question to you is, why do you like being a flight attendant? What is it that you get from that job? What are the emotions when you go to work and you think about, oh, I'm a flight attendant? What is it that I like, that feeds me, that feed my value? So I'll give you some example. For me, because I did the exercise as well.
Yes.
It's okay, freedom.
Mm.
Feel like, I'm free. I travel. So travel is one thing, but it's more the adventure.
Mm.
It's a job that is not boring. It's always different. Well, the job itself is, serving customers and all that, but different, schedule, different destinations, working with different people all the time. So there's no routine there. There's always something different. Um, Connecting. Oh, I loved because I'm retired. So, but I loved connecting with the other crew members.
Right.
I loved connecting with the passengers. Me being surrounded by people that are from all over the world.
Mm.
I just loved it. I would ask questions. I would have conversations with people, especially when I was on international flights, especially
Right.
from Europe. You have people connecting from all kind of, all
Right.
different. It was just amazing. For
Mm.
me, I was learning a lot. So you feel my passion. You feel what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I really loved about my job. I made a list here. I don't know if I said everything. um, Teamwork, like work with other people. Some
Right.
people are more like, I want to do my own things. I want to be
Mm-hmm.
in an office alone in front of
Mm-hmm.
my computer, and it's okay.
Yeah,
But
we
flight
need those kinds of
attendants,
people.
and it's okay. But flight attendants, no, you want to be with people. You want to have a team. So this is the kind of things that I invite you make a list of that.
Mm.
Even it could be like languages, like I can learn a new language. I'm learning Spanish,
Mm.
and when I go on my flights, I get to
Practice.
practice my Spanish with either other flight attendants or passengers.
Mm-hmm.
So make a list of that, because this is the the job of a flight attendant is just a reflection of who you are.
Mm.
And if you are able to really make a list of, like what I mentioned, what is it that it gives you, it brings you,
Mm-hmm.
then you can find something else where you have the same feelings.
Mm.
And when you can do that, you're not missing the other job as much, because you are fulfilled by something else.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, for example, I told you that I love, working with people from different countries, connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a business, an online business. Guess what I'm doing? My business is all on Zoom now,
Yeah.
and I'm connecting with people from all over the world through
Right.
my team. So I have a team, just like I had at Air Canada,
Ah.
connecting with people across the world, just like I was doing at Air Canada.
Mm.
Travel, when we're going to be able to start again to
Mm.
travel, I will be traveling. But instead of going on layovers for 12 hours, I'm going to be able to stay as long as I want.
Mm.
So I have that freedom, the freedom that I had with my flight attendant job. I have it with an online business. So you would think, who would think, how can you go from flight attendant to an online business and be happy?
Right.
But you see, it's not what I do.
Mm.
It's what
What you are.
what who I am and what it brings me.
Mm.
So if you're able to start with one thing, just one thing, make a list. That's my suggestion. You make a list, like I said, and just ask yourself, where could I find the same? If it's learn a language, for example, well, how can I learn a language now? Like right now, everything, there's so much available online. So it's just a matter, and not think about, oh, it's going to cost money, because again, it's fear of future.
Mm.
Or I tried that in the past and it didn't work. So
Didn't
this
work.
is fear talking, like the little voices in my head, like, so no, 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 just here and now. What is it that I could do that would bring me that sense of freedom, that sense of teamwork, that sense, you know what I mean?
Right.
And when I did that exercise at the beginning, to be honest with you, I was a little skeptical
Right.
because I was, I was kind of not. There's nothing like flight attendant.
Right.
In a certain way, yes.
Right.
But there are other things that can bring you the same positive emotions as when you are a flight attendant, if that makes sense. If I don't know, Jessica, if I'm explaining it well.
It totally makes sense. And what I'm like, it's like that feeling. It's like we have to, what's the word in English? When somebody passes away, mourning? Grief. It's like I'm hearing what you're saying, and you're right, because there's so many other things we can do, but it's just like that little feeling, oh my God, do I have to grieve my job? It's like, oh, it's a mixed feeling. But I love what you're sharing. And it's the reality. We don't know when we're going to be back. We have no control over that. So as 2 weeks ago my special guest was saying, time flies. We know that time will pass anyway. So what do you want to do today that can make a difference for your future and being fulfilled and being in your purpose and being happy? Because waiting for this flight attendant job to be coming back, time will pass, so I'm really inviting you to do the homework. If there's still flight attendants watching live, type if you're going to be doing the call to action, and do that list of what you like about the job, and let us know if you'll do it. I'm going to certainly do it, but it's very valuable what you're sharing. So let me just say a few hi here. Chantal Costi Pili, she says, hello, beautiful ladies from Columbia, South Carolina. Kevin and Nancy, welcome to all of you watching live. Again, if you're watching live, type live. If you're watching replay, type replay. Share with us what you like best about this conversation, and if you're going to take on the calls for actions. But we're talking about going beyond your fears. You shared with us, that you moved to Toronto, Ontario, to learn English, and multiple other examples in your life, becoming a service director, where you went beyond your fears. My question is, how did you, that fear was there, but what did you tell yourself? I'm still doing this. I know you shared a little bit, but what was that thing that you told yourself, I'm doing this, even though that fear is there?
Well, the big thing for me, okay, first, I took some personal growth courses. Well, I took over 2,000 hours of different courses in my life. So I learned that I needed to accept myself, accept and embrace my fears. And the same way, I invite you and the people that are watching, I invite you to accept what's going on with your job, embrace, because when we resist and we say no, 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 and we're kind of on the negative side of things, nothing can happen. All the doors are closed.
Where you resist persists. What you resist persists.
Yes. So I suggest that accept in your heart, not just in your head, but I accept in your heart that there's a reason for what's going on. Embrace what's going on, because that's when, and take advantage of what is going on, even though for some of you, maybe everything is negative, but everything is not negative. Like I was speaking with a friend of mine who's flight attendant that I reconnected a few days ago. And I said, well, she lives in Halifax. And she says, what's happening is not great, but at least now I spend more time with my son. So I said, well, congratulations. I'm going to say, Diane, I'm glad that you're looking at the positive, sides of things. So that's one thing. About fear, you have to acknowledge the fear. It's there. Like we're all human. But what made a big difference, and we mentioned it earlier, it's the concept of what am I afraid of? And is that fear real? Because 99% of the things that we fear are not real. Like it's okay, I had a bad experience in the past, so it's going to happen again. We don't know.
Right.
Or it's going to happen in the future. And then, I better not do anything than do something. So that's a big thing. In the here and now is very, very important. I find it's a big, big key to go beyond our fears. And I came to the way I see things now. When things I'm afraid, because I always push myself, like I'm in that mode now. The thing is, you do it once, you build. It's building blocks. You're gonna do something that you're afraid of, and you do it anyways.
Right.
And then you look back and says, "Oh, I'm not dead. It went well. Maybe it was uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I did it.
Right.
Maybe it wasn't perfect, but I did it." So now it's the first building block of like, I was afraid, I did it anyway, and I'm proud of myself.
Oh,
So,
love it.
So it's like baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. So you're going to build on that one little thing that you did. And it could be something as crazy as, okay, do small things like, oh, I'd like to reconnect with that person, but it's been such a long time. I don't really know like how is she going to want to talk to me? She's going to wonder why I'm calling her.
Right.
So it's kind of my fear of like, how is she going to react, or how is he going to react? Well, go for it. Go for it. Connect with that person. Start with Facebook, send a message, say, look, I know it's been a long time, but I was thinking of you, wondering how you're doing, and see what happens. It's little things like that building blocks, that you do one thing and then the person most likely will say, hey, so happy to hear from you. And then you're like, well, I didn't die. I was afraid. I was scared, but I did it anyways. So that's the thing, is like, you need to recognize the fear, say, thank you. I embrace you. I know you're here. You're there. You're right in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't need you because you're not real.
Exactly.
Because you're from my past, or you're from my future.
Yeah. Exactly.
So now I take action. Whatever the action is, now I take action.
Yeah, fear can mean false evidence appearing real, or it can be face everything and run. Is that what it is? Run, the R. I was like, I had a blank, but the R, but face everything and run and take action. And again, like Lucie just said, it doesn't have to be a big action. Okay, it can be a little action, day after day, baby steps. We've heard this before. When a child learns how to walk, they fall how many times? Do we tell that child, stop walking, stop learning to walk because you fell so many times? No, right? We're going to keep telling that child, get up and go. So how many times in your life there's going to be experiences where you're going to fall, or situations that are out of your control? You can't do anything about it, like with that situation. Just get up and go and take action. There's so many things you can do. Let me just say a few hi. Eric, Alicia, Melissa, Irene, welcome. If you're watching live, type live. Welcome to all of you watching live. We're talking about going beyond your fears, and I love what you're sharing. Thank you for sharing what you're sharing with us. And so you've shared examples of going beyond your fears. And then if we move 11 years ago, where you decided to take on that online business and then decided to retire not that long after, a few years after, there was fear for sure, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was unknown. I had never done, and it's a company network marketing, so I had never done anything like that. As a matter of fact, I had been involved with network marketing for a few short time a few years back.
Okay.
And it didn't work out. It was not a company, but something happened in my personal life, and I stopped doing the business. And I had that fear, unconscious fear, that if I start another company, another online business, will the same thing happen?
Right.
And that's why it took me a few days to get my head over. Like, I realized what my fear was.
Mm.
I am afraid that the same thing will happen again. And
Right.
I had to work on myself.
Mm.
I wrote down my fears, what happened in the past, and I realized it's not because it happened in the past, it's going to happen again.
Right.
And I started, and I'm so glad because I did that. I was able to build a business with my husband, Larry, that allowed me to retire early from the airline. As much as I loved my flight attendant job, it was very, for me, it was becoming, as I was getting older, um, it was very challenging. I was sick all the time.
Mm.
I commuted for 22 years, first from Quebec to Toronto and then from Moncton to Toronto. So for those of you who know Moncton, New Brunswick, the commuting was very hard, especially in the winter time.
Mm.
So as much as I loved my job, I knew that I couldn't do it another 25 years to get a full pension,
Right.
you know? And plus, the air bankruptcy stuff, everything kind of happened at the same time. So because I went beyond my fears and I built that business, it was work, of course, but I was doing it part time around my flying schedule. I was able to build something so I could retire early. So now I'm from home. I work from home,
Mm.
and I'm not. I don't have the stress that you have.
Mm.
I'm not experiencing the craziness of the airline, the aviation, and all of that. So that's why I feel for you guys, because I understand so much
Mm.
what you're going through. But I protected my family in a way by having that second stream of income, and whatever you want to do. Like, it's not a sales pitch in here.
No,
What
it's not.
I'm saying is that whatever you can find that you're happy that you want to do to protect yourself. I mean, it's important. Um,
There's so many ways, right? There's so many ways to diversify. And if you don't know, just there's a lot of people that can help you out there. Also, even on YouTube, there's so much information out there. It's
yeah,
just a matter of, like you were saying in the beginning, make a list of what you love about being a flight attendant, and then look at that list and maybe see what could fit in that list, and then add multiple streams of income. So there's so many things. We're all passionate about something. Just have to take that journey inside of you, take a moment and do that. So Jahera says she's live. Welcome. Thank you for sharing all of that. So now we move forward. You've built a very successful online business. You guys were #1 in North America. Congratulations, you guys are awesome. And now you're taking on new projects that are probably, yes, you were sharing that you were still going over that fear, right?
oh yeah, I mean, in all the time, and that's the beauty of it, is that now I embrace the fears, I embrace the challenges.
Mm.
So at the beginning, we all go through, like, being timid and not sure, but at some point when you realize how good it feels to go beyond our fears. If I may, Jessica,
Yes.
share a small story just
Yes,
to
please.
show. um, I used to be afraid of heights,
Mm.
like, really.
As
Like, I would just go on a small bridge, and sometimes I would just freeze, like walking,
right.
and I would go down, I would look down, and then I would freeze. I couldn't move anymore.
Wow.
Like, that's how, for those of you who know Quebec City, like Les Remparts, like near the Citadel in the old Quebec, they
Yes.
have little bridges to go from one wall to the other. I would just go on top of that, which was, I don't know how many feet, maybe 30 feet high at the most. I would stop halfway and couldn't move anymore.
Oh my God.
So one day we went to Switzerland. I have friends who live in Switzerland. So Larry was there, my husband. And I asked Larry, what would you like to do in Switzerland? He says, oh, I would like to go paragliding. So paragliding, it's like a big, you have like, it's like a parachute. It's like a, how do you call it?
Yes.
Kind of a parachute, you know. And so I said, well, I would have to go with an instructor. So he says, okay, let's go. And I'm thinking, I wasn't thinking then. It's like when we're driving, I'm thinking, shoot, the mountains in Switzerland are a lot higher than here. So and then the fear is like, oh, my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm going to die. And I'm like, I cannot go anymore. I have to tell everyone, I'm not going. And then I started to said, well, you know, what can possibly happen if? And then I started thinking, well, if you die, you die. At least you're gonna have tried, you know, something new. That I said
Maybe a
that
beautiful scenery.
for real. So we end up there. And anyways, I go with the instructor, and yes, the mountain was high. And anyway, we go way up there. And anyways, I went from being like so scared to a feeling of, it's more than joy. I don't even know what the word is. Like
You fear
enivrant. Enivrant. I don't know how you say that in English.
Not sure, but I'm
Like I became like there was a switch in my head going from fear to really enjoying what was happening. I started laugh and laugh and laugh, and I was way up there, and Larry could hear me laugh. He was down on the ground. He was like, what's going on with you? And you know what happened? That experience was so profound. And for me, when I landed with my instructor, I turned around to Larry. Larry used to be a pilot for Canada. I said to Larry, I'm taking my pilot's license.
Oh, wow.
And he looked at me like, really? I said, yes. I said, if I was able to do this, fear my fear, I've been wanting to become a pilot, but I was afraid of height and I was afraid of this and that. I says, I'm doing it. And he was like, he wasn't sure if he thought I was going to change my mind, but it took me 9 months. So every day off that I would have between my flights, because I was living in Quebec City, traveling to Toronto, based in Toronto, every single day off that I would have, I would book a flight to do my private license.
Wow.
So it's just to show that when this is the gift, that if you need a reason to go beyond your fears, is whatever you're afraid of, there's a gift behind it. If you go beyond it, there's a gift. And you don't know what that gift is, but you just trust. Just trust the universe or whoever you believe in, God. Trust that you're going to get something out of it. You're going to get a gift.
Woo! Mic drop. I'm good. I know you guys watching. This was very empowering. Thank you. Thank you for, I remember you started sharing this on Monday and I was like, I can't remember what example exactly. So I'm so happy you shared that because it's so true. There is something after going beyond that fear that's waiting for you that you have no idea what it's going to bring you. And Irene said liberated is maybe the word you were looking for.
Yes.
Because he says, I know it hurts for you to fly for flight attendants to leave your lovely job because of pandemic, but let me tell you guys, don't be afraid to try something new. Yes, stay strong, stay positive. Exactly. I actually wrote a quote. It's so crazy. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done.
Absolutely.
That means going beyond your fear. It's in the future. You don't know what it looks like. So thank you, Kosti, for sharing that. I'm going to slowly wrap up the show. I'm going to share the 2 quotes that I shared with you today. Stay tuned because Lucie is working on a huge project as an author. So stay tuned. What's the best way to reach you or to follow you?
You can either reach me on Facebook or Facebook Messenger or by email at the moment, because I'm working on, I have a website, but it's, I'm updating it at the moment. So just, Facebook Messenger or luciebernier@outlook.com.
Awesome. So like every week, I'm going to share this video in the Women Empowerment by Jessica DSB Facebook group. And under that, Lucie is going to just add her Facebook and email on there so that you have all the information how to reach her. So what I chose for the quotes is magic lies just beyond the fears. Ooh, magic. Who loves the word magic? I do. And there will always be fears in your life. Fear means you're growing and challenging yourself beyond your comfort zone.
Definitely.
Right? Hello, Pierre. So Lucie, I'm going to let you finish. I know you've said like such powerful already, but I know you have more to say. I know. Hello, Jose. So let me, hear you the last few words, sentences, minutes, however you want to, that's on your heart that you want to share today to whoever is going to be watching this.
That's good. I didn't prepare anything because I'm always, I just speak, like you said, I always speak with my heart. But I would say trust. Trust that everything will be fine. Really. Reinvent yourself. Find your passion and follow your passions. Because if you do what you love, you're going to be happy. And if you do what you love, chances are that you will find a way to monetize that. So by doing what you love, you will be fulfilled. And you will find a way to make money out of it with it. So then you will go back to diversify your incomes, because we're talking about, very like emotions, but we live in a material world and when we need money. But you can have everything you want. You can be happy and have money at the same time. And trust, it is a big storm that you're going through right now, but there is light after that storm. And go beyond your fears, like Jessica said, and you will be okay and you will be happy.
Oh, love it. Thank you. Irene says belief. Yes, it really starts with the belief in yourself. Really starts with the belief in yourself and everything you've just said. And I'm going to add on top of it, surround yourself with other people that are positive, empowering, that will lift you up. Especially, I'm speaking to somebody that needs to hear this. If you're feeling lonely, like you're the most alone person right now, just call somebody, message somebody. You're not bothering them. They will be happy to be there for you. Sometimes it's just listening, right? Vicky says, thank you so much, Lucie and Jess. Thank you again, Lucie. It's always such a pleasure to have some of your valuable time and your words. Say hi to Larry from me. And best of luck and amazing abundance for both of you. Thank you again for everybody that was watching. If you're watching replay, again, let me know in the comments. I'll be back next Wednesday with Jahera, actually, that's watching live today. I can't wait to have a conversation with you. And everybody, have an awesome rest of the day. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share with the people that you love and care about. Jessica DSB.